a slightly different area of activity recognition, looking more at the sensing part. Solar energy positive human activity recognition using solar cells. And yes, again, it comes from a mixture of Australia, Queensland University, and Dresden in Germany. And I'm passing over to the presenter. I don't know who that is at this stage.
Yes, I am here. I'm going to share my screen.
Okay, please do.
So can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen. Looks good.
Okay, thanks, Paul. Hi, everyone. I am Mohit Sandhu, and I am presenting my paper titled Solar Energy Positive Human Activity Recognition using Solar Cells. There is an exponential rise in the wearable technology market, and the major share is covered by wrist wearable devices. These wearable devices are employed in various applications such as fitness tracking, activity monitoring, and uh, health monitoring. However, these wearable devices have a problem of limited energy capacity, which hinders their pervasive deployment and widespread adaptability. A promising solution is to employ energy harvesters that generate energy from the ambient environment, such as solar, vibration, thermal, and RF, to power these wearable devices. However, the harvested energy from these tiny energy harvesters is not sufficient to fully power the wearable device continuously. So in order to achieve the objective of autonomous and self-powered wearable devices, novel sensing mechanism should be adopted, and that minimize the sensor related energy consumption. So in order to achieve this objective of autonomous and self-powered wearable devices, recently energy harvesters have been employed as activity sensors. For example, kinetic energy harvester has been used for human activity recognition using AC and capacitor voltage. As we move the harvested energy from the human movement changes, and thus the output signal contains embedded information about the underlying activity. Furthermore, kinetic energy harvester has been used for transport mode detection applications. However, all of these works employ energy harvester as an activity sensor only, without harvesting energy to power a dynamic load. Previously, we have shown that kinetic energy harvester can be used as an activity sensor and source of energy simultaneously. So in conventional sensing, motion sensor is used that draws energy from an external energy source to provide a signal, to provide an activity signal, whereas kinetic energy harvesting transducer provides energy that can be used to power the signal acquisition module, as well as that energy pattern can be used for activity recognition. This leads towards energy positive sensing in contrast to conventional energy negative sensing. However, still the harvested energy from a single kinetic energy harvesting transducer is not sufficient to fully power the wearable device. Alternatively, solar cells have been used for context detection in a controlled environment, for example, in hand gesture recognition under a lamp, and in a room level place recognition in conjunction with the kinetic energy harvesting transducer. However, these works also use the solar cell as an activity sensor only without harvesting energy to power a load or wearable device. And also these works use a solar cell for context detection in controlled environments, in a lamp, under a lamp, or in indoor environments. So if we see the previous works do not study the use of solar cell as solar cell for human activity recognition in indoor and outdoor environments, and they do not employ simultaneous sensing and energy harvesting, and do not harvest energy to power a dynamic load, and finally do not quantify the harvested and consumed energy from the solar cell to power the wearable device. So we propose a novel mechanism, solar, that employs solar cells for human activity recognition. And in this mechanism, a solar cell is placed on the wearable device that acts as an activity sensor and source of energy simultaneously. So we use the harvested power signal to sense the activity as well as to power the wearable device. And then it will transmit the activity using wireless transmission protocol. So in the initial study, we have collected some data from 3 common human activities using a wrist-worn solar cell. And from this figure, we can see that the harvested power from running, walking, and standing, we have distinct harvested power pattern. This means that this signal can be used for activity recognition. So this is our system model in which we employ a solar cell and DC-DC converter to track the maximum power point to harvest maximum energy, and then power the harvested energy to run the microcontroller. And then we implement the human activity recognition algorithm on the node and extract various time, frequency, and peak-based features, and implement a machine learning classification algorithm to infer the activity. And then the output activity is transmitted using Bluetooth Low Energy protocol. We collect data from 21 adult and healthy participants, 13 indoors and 8 outdoors, with 5 common human activities: running, walking, stairs, standing, and sitting. In addition to solar energy harvester, we also collect data from kinetic energy harvester and accelerometer to compare our work with the literature. So here we show the signals from solar energy harvester in indoor and outdoors during 5 activities, and we see that in outdoors we have higher fluctuations in the output signals due to the shadowing effect of surrounding trees and buildings, and ultimately it will affect the human activity recognition accuracy, as we'll see in next slides. We implement 7 machine learning classification algorithms on the collected data in indoor and outdoor environments. And we see that random forest classifier provides highest accuracy for all types of signals. And secondly, accelerometer provides highest accuracy because it is a 3-axis signal compared to solar and kinetic energy harvesters, which are single axis in nature. Comparing solar and kinetic energy harvesters, we see that solar energy harvesters offer about 7% higher accuracy than kinetic energy harvester. It is due to the rich context information in the solar energy harvested signal and higher output power compared to kinetic energy harvester, especially during static activities such as standing and sitting. Because in standing and sitting, kinetic energy harvester does not provide sufficient power and thus offers lower accuracy. Here we show the confusion matrices for solar and kinetic energy harvesting signals indoors and outdoors. And we see that the static activities and stairs activity has higher accuracy using solar energy harvesting signal, whereas mobile activities of running and walking have higher activity with the kinetic energy harvesting signal. It is due to the reason that static activities have a lower harvested power from kinetic energy harvested, and the stairs activity in stairs environment, we have a different light distribution compared to other places. Whereas in running and walking, the movement pattern is closely correlated with the kinetic energy harvesting pattern. So therefore, kinetic energy harvester provides higher accuracy in mobile activities. We also analyze the human activity recognition accuracy with varying window sizes. We vary the window size from 2 seconds to 12 seconds. So in each windows, in a 1 second window, we have 100 samples. So we see that with the increase in window size, there is an increase in our accuracy for kinetic energy harvesting signals, whereas in solar energy harvesting signal, it is showing a stable performance. And however, with the increase in window size, we also increase the application latency, computational complexity, and memory requirements. Therefore, window size should be chosen in keeping in mind the type of application. So with the increase in sampling frequency, we see that there is an increase in the R accuracy for solar outdoor and kinetic indoor signals, whereas solar indoor and kinetic outdoor signals show stable performance. However, with the rise in sampling frequency, we also see the increment in the sampling energy or sampling power. And even with the 10 Hertz, we are offering, with the sampling frequency of 10 Hertz, we get an accuracy of more than 93% indoors and more than 83% outdoors using solar signals. We also analyze the robustness of our model with the user variance and perform Lee-1 user out cross validation. And we see that solar indoor, kinetic indoor, and accelerometer offer 5 to 9% lower R accuracy with the new and unseen data, whereas outdoor signals, kinetic and solar, offer about 25 up to 25% decrease in the R accuracy. However, we expect that the larger data sample will reduce this sensitivity. We also perform environment agnostic analysis, and we see that our model offers near 90% accuracy on the combined data without the knowledge of the underlying environment, which is 7% higher than its counterpart, kinetic energy harvester. We also compute the harvested and consumed energy from the solar cell to power the wearable device. And this table shows the average harvested power during 5 activities. And we see that in indoors and outdoors, solar energy harvester provides higher accuracy, higher harvested power. So in indoors, it provides 1 order of magnitude higher power, whereas in outdoors, solar provides 2 order of magnitude higher power compared to kinetic energy harvester. We also compute the consumed energy to run the human activity recognition algorithm on the device, and we employ an ultra low power NRF 52840 wireless microcontroller and implement various tasks including sampling, feature extraction, classification, and data transmission. And we see that the average power to run the whole activity recognition algorithm is 7.92 microwatt, which is lower than the harvested power from solar energy harvester, both indoors and outdoors. Here we compare the harvested and consumed power from solar and kinetic indoors and outdoors. And we clearly see from here that kinetic energy harvester generates lower power than required for implementing the activity recognition algorithm, whereas solar energy harvester generates higher power than required for running the wearable device. So we define a Har power ratio, that is the ratio of harvested power to the Har power, that is the power required for implementing the human activity recognition algorithm. And we define energy positive Har as P Har greater than 1, energy negative Har P Har less than 1, and energy neutral Har P Har is equal to 1. And here we plot the accuracy and Har power ratio for all activities from all types of signals. And we see that all the activities from solar energy harvester indoor and outdoors fall into energy positive Har region. It means that during these activities, the harvested power is higher than required to run the wearable device. Whereas for kinetic energy harvester, all the activities except running outdoors lie in the energy negative Har region. Using kinetic energy harvester and during running activity outdoors, we generate higher power due to higher vibrations. Therefore, it lies in the energy positive Har region. It is interesting to mention here that we are using lightweight and small sized solar cell compared to kinetic energy harvester. So, despite small size and lightweight, solar energy harvester provide higher human activity recognition accuracy as well as higher harvested power. So we propose a novel Har mechanism using solar cells that in which we employ solar cell for sensing and energy generation at the same time and explore solar cell as a novel activity sensor indoors and outdoors. And we quantify the harvested and consumed power on the node using an ultra low power wireless microcontroller. We find that solar offers about 8.3% higher Har accuracy and more than 1 order of magnitude higher power compared to kinetic counterpart. And we find that solar offers energy positive Har in which the harvested power is higher than required for running the Har algorithm. In the future, solar can be implemented online, and furthermore, multi-source energy harvesters can be employed to obtain rich context information and higher harvested energy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for this very interesting talk. So again, looking at questions. So maybe yeah, sure. We have, please ask, please do, think.
Sorry, I'm having dinner, so I can't have my video on. So the question is, it's very good talk. It's surprisingly good, impressively good actually. But I want to be ask some clarification questions. So you talk about kinetic sensor, you talk about gyroscope and accelerometer, right?
Yeah.
So can you be more specific about what kind of solar sensor you build, and what kind of output it can produce?
Okay, so we use commercially available solar cell. So and it has size about 3 centimeter by 4 centimeter, and we use the harvesting photocurrent signal for activity recognition.
Oh, I see. I got it. Currency signals. Okay, got it. Thank you very much.
So I have a follow-up question on this. We actually a long time ago done some activity recognition also using light, and actually you did have some information mostly in the differential signal, how the amount of light changes.
Yep.
Now, what I find very hard to believe is that you actually distinguish something like between sitting and standing, as say walking and stairs walking. And what I suspect is that what you are detecting is not really stairs walking or walking. It's just that where you are walking on stairs, maybe there's a rail on which people, hold themselves to, and that's what you're seeing because they have a different hand position. So my, let's say, challenge would be, did you actually have enough diversity in your experiments to make sure that you're detecting stair walking against walking and not really being on the stairs and having your hand on the rail because this particular stairs actually has a rail or something, versus being somewhere where you just walked. Yeah. So really my suspicion, having some experience with light, using light as an additional signal is that it falls in the category, and forgive me for this sounding a bit critical, what I always tell my student is, if you torture your data long enough, it will tell you anything. So by having a constrained set, you are detecting something, but not really your activities. So did you check that?
Yeah, actually, we have a diverse data set, and we collected data on different locations on different days, like sunny, cloudy, and partially cloudy, as well as on the different timings of the days. And now we are extending this work, and we have also collected data from different buildings, and we have seen that still we have similar results as presented here. So this is due to the reason that actually when we move, we have a different interference pattern with the ambient light that embeds information of the underlying activity.
Yeah, that I see. So I'm fully with you that you can use that actually to distinguish between somebody, let's say, sitting, somebody being still, and let's say somebody walking or even running, right? So very intense physical activity. But I just don't see how you can distinguish, say, sitting or standing, unless, of course, you say then when sitting you have a different hand position, but that's you detecting something else. And yeah, the same is like walking stairs and walking even. That seems very strange to me.
So with the standing and sitting, actually, when we are standing, so if we are indoors, then there is no direct light on the solar cell, whereas in sitting position, mostly we have a direct light on the solar cell. So therefore, we have quite distinct signal in both activities as well.
Yeah, okay. Any more questions?
Okay, one more question is actually, what happened to the indoor? You don't have too much sunlight variances, and how you can differ the energy differences, and then can tell the difference between subtle activities.
Sorry, can you please repeat?
I mean, in indoor, you don't have that much differences or variance in the solar energy data. In such cases, how you can differentiate complex activities like the host just talked about, like climbing upstairs and climbing downstairs? How you
no, actually, we are using only we are treating as one activity, like stairs is one activity.
Climbing. Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Got it. Probably you need to use some sensor fusion in the future, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Still okay, cool. Thank you.
So that is our future work, to use multi-source energy harvesters to enhance
I see. Got it.
the
Thank you.
accuracy.
Yeah, any more questions? We still have some time.
Hello.
Yep.
Hello, Mohit. This is Hasar Mani from India. So I want to ask one question.
Yeah, please.
So what is the actual size, means size in the sense what peak capacity of the solar cell you are using, and what kind of solar cell you are using, whether it is bifacial solar cell or what kind of solar cell you are using?
So actually it is the most commonly used solar cell that is used in wearable devices, and I think it has size of 3 by 4 centimeter. It is like a rectangular form.
Okay, that's okay. But means in watt peak capacity, whether it is 5 watt peak capacity or what is the exact sizing, the watt peak sizing of the solar cell, and amount of the power generation, how much it is generating during the sun hours.
Yeah, I think its link is given in the paper. You can see the data sheet of that solar cell. You can see the paper actually for more details.
Okay, no issue. Okay, nice presentation. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you
for this also really interesting talk. And again, I think it really was a good presentation. I didn't really mean to criticize too much. I think it's really fascinating topic.
No
how
issue,
much
no issue.
information you can
we learn
extract
from
this sensor. And in this sense, thank you very much to all the presenters. We have kept time. We have had a very nice discussion. Made the best out of this online session. So thanks again. And I don't know, anybody of the organizers wants to say anything?